I see live flashing.
It's alive now. Good evening, warriors. I am live with Christopher Biggers, and we are going to be discussing mental health and the stigma that's attached to mental health. Oh, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. And what we can do as a group to help others that are still suffering in the dark. So Christopher, I'll hand it over to you. Can you share a little bit about what you struggle with and where you've come from, and just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Uh, that's there's a lot that I used to struggle with. I have been through psychotic phases. Um, Spent my first homeless in Detroit. Uh, I felt the terror of schizophrenia,
Mm-hmm.
the exhaustion of hypermania, uh, and just changing one minute to the next from manic to depressed to manic to depressed. Uh, a lot of it I managed to keep a resemblance of a life together. Now just it seems to be neurological,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a danger that all of us with a mental illness can be exposed to, is when we have a new illness or disorder that isn't diagnosed, that can't be diagnosed easily. The first thing they throw it off to is anxiety. And
That
you get no treatment, you get no course of action, no prognosis. They just tossed me out of the neurological office, and my general practitioner kept sending me to my psychiatrist, who said it's not psychiatric, not all of it, and there's no way I can help you.
that's right. Yeah.
Um,
It's a vicious circle, isn't it?
yes, it is, and it can take years to unfold. It's been years, and I still have know nothing more than when it first started.
Yeah, exactly. So let me ask you this question, because, as you know, I'm going through a lot of significant mental health issues myself, and one of them's anxiety and panic disorder, and it's kind of come out of nowhere. But do you find if you have a mind shift, meaning that our minds are so powerful, especially when we're hypersensitive to our surroundings around us and the people around us and the energy. Do you think if you shift your mindset to think that there's nothing wrong with you, your purpose here is to um, help others with your pain and suffering, so that, I mean, we're all gonna end up in the same place at the end. So what I'm trying to, how I'm trying to heal is know that even through pain and suffering, we can still be the best that we can be with who we are inside. Does that help you in any way to
My
feel more inspired,
Yeah,
motivated?
my mind shift started when I realized that I exist and
Mm-hmm.
I'm a part of nature, as natural as a tree or there's squirrels or birds around me.
Exactly. You're alive and you've got
And
a
That's all it takes to have self-worth. It's all
That's
it
right.
takes to have value.
That's
Um,
right.
what we do with our existence, and this is just the mind shift, is
Yeah,
up to us. And as we
exactly.
learn that, we can
Yes,
take control over what we have control over.
yes,
And we can take medication, therapy, different techniques for what we do or have.
yeah,
And that just means we're free of the illness. We aren't,
exactly.
it's not that we're not limited by it. It's not that it doesn't tie us, but we work just around the symptoms and despite the symptoms.
Yes,
And we make ourselves the best we can be. Does that
yeah.
answer your question?
Yes, it does. And the thing is, like I'll say this. I mean, when we're born beautiful. Somewhere along the lines, when we were dealing with our mental illness, we've been convinced that there's something wrong with us and the shame and the embarrassment that goes along with it, right?
Well, that is,
It's,
we all go through that stage. And
yeah,
sometimes people never lose it. And sometimes people fill those gaps with other things
yeah,
that aren't healthy or in an unhealthy way.
that's
And
right.
we need to fill those gaps ourselves by
Yeah,
not being ashamed.
that's
Cancer keeps running through my mind. We have we have a lifespan, a chronic, serious, mentally ill person has a life
yeah,
expectancy of 50 to 55 years. It's as
interesting.
deadly as any other terminal disease. Some terminal diseases,
It is, and
people
it's
live beyond the range, but the
yeah,
range is there because that's when they tend to fall to it.
yeah,
So if we look at it that way, there's no need for shame. It
yeah.
isn't a moral flaw or a character failing.
That's right.
It is, it's an illness. And, we need to not be dependent on other people uh,
That's right.
indicating that illness.
Exactly.
So if we don't need other people to vindicate it, then we're free of their opinions and we're free to find our own self value, our own worth, and how to make of ourselves what we're able to.
That's right. Exactly.
A lot of it, a lot of recovery from mental illness, the change in day to day lifestyle, the change in goals is dependent on not it's influenced by the stigma other people put on us, but we put it on
Absolutely.
us and it dictates us.
Yeah.
We need to be free of that.
Well, exactly. The way I see it is kind of funny. This message came to me today is anyone that struggles with any kind of illness is like a superhero, right? They
We
need
need to dig the superhuman depths.
That's
So
right. And we have so much power because we're determined to fight for our life because it's such a struggle.
and finding a place within ourselves to make
Yeah,
that fight from. Finding not the what I've learned is I didn't settle on the first beliefs that were handed to me.
right.
And I found my own beliefs to settle on. And when I had that and I had all my home, shelter, food, all that met, I was able to sit back and make a fight. Because you can't make a fight without a foundation. And that
That,
foundation can just be a belief in ourselves. And
absolutely.
sometimes that would be the best foundation to have,
Yes,
even if
I
you can't start there.
yeah. So Christopher, can you just tell me, like I know in your posts on my group, you've said that you've trained soldiers and you've been all around the world. Like, how did the mental illness impact you before you realized what your purpose kind of was? Like, did you go into a darkness alone by yourself, or did you fight right away uh, for yourself? Like, have you always had the mentality to be positive, or have you been in that dark place?
I have been, I had been in that dark place for over, well, if you trace back pre-diagnosis, it's been over 35 years I've been in that dark place.
Yeah,
And the first thing I had to do to get myself out of it was convince myself that life is not only worth living, but to learn that life is wonderful.
absolutely. And I can tell you your story and your determination and persistence. You are inspiring so many, because clearly we can see that you have difficulty communicating, but when you've got hope, it's powerful. I see a difference in you already. There's light coming from you. So I think I wanted to make you aware of that I notice a difference in you from the first video to now. So I'm yeah, I hope that you keep sharing and you know, like we're paving the way, and anyone that suffers and wants to end their life, I think, you know, can be helped if they're provided that love and support. You agree?
A family, there is, I thought it trite when I first saw it, replace the ill or I'll in illness
Yes.
to the we in wellness. And yes, it is so much easier. My entire life, it's been, I have to do this myself. I only discovered the we after the mind shift had set in and I viewed day to day life so much differently.
Yeah.
And I started attracting insightful, intelligent, wise people around.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, wow, this is so much easier than doing it alone.
It really is. Absolutely. I would agree with that. So I would love to do another interview with you. This is the first attempt. I don't even know if it's working, but hopefully it is. And if it's not, we'll redo the whole thing again. Hey, Christopher?
Sounds good.
Okay, so I am going to let you go. Thank you so much for being a brave warrior and helping me with my first attempt. And know that you are loved, you matter, and help me pave the way with this group that we're creating, which is a group that comes from a place of the heart. And we are fearless, we are determined, we are movers, shakers, doers, builders, dreamers, and visionaries. No one suffers alone anymore. Right?
As well, no one should. No one has to.
Exactly. Awesome. Okay, Christopher, we'll be in touch.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Bye.
Bye. End live broadcast. So where did it go?